This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The Boundaries Report expected today. What will that report recommend in terms of new constituencies? More than 70 students to receive financial aid for college. And in business, a new IDB report highlighting the need for effective public transportation in New Providence. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. That's all straight ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the long-awaited Boundaries Report expected to be tabled in Parliament today. It's expected to create two new constituencies. The report is set to recommend the creation of two new seats. The National Guardian understands one called Bimini and the Berry Islands, as well as a new seat in Western New Providence. The report is also expected to recommend boundary changes in several constituencies across the country. As it stands, there are 39 seats in the country. A general election is due this year. So far, the Progressive Liberal Party has ratified 14 candidates, and the F&M has ratified 29. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell saying the party hopes to ratify all of its candidates this month. Changes to the boundaries in the upcoming election would accompany other key updates to the electoral process. Biometric voters' cards, made possible by legislation passed in Parliament last year, also expected to be rolled out next month, according to Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson. The new cards, though, will not be mandatory for this election. A 23-year-old man has been charged after prosecutors say a domestic dispute on New Year's Eve escalated to a near-deadly shooting. Nari Forbes faced charges of attempted murder and possession of firearm with intent to endanger life when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Prosecutors allege that Forbes got into a row with Kevin Tynes while at their residence on St. Luke's Street in Pinewood Gardens in New Providence. Forbes allegedly pulled a gun during the argument and shot the 48-year-old Tynes and a 15-year-old girl. Forbes was not required to enter pleas to the charges, and he was denied bail. The matter adjourned to May 7th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment that will fast-track the case to the Supreme Court. A policeman categorically denying pulling his service revolver on his estranged wife's male friend during a domestic dispute. Assistant Superintendent of Police Aaron Wilson faces charges of causing harm, threats of death, assault with a deadly instrument, and possession of a firearm to put another in fear in relation to an incident that allegedly took place at Woodstock Road in New Providence on May 2nd of last year. When Wilson took the witness stand in his defense at his trial before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, he admitted that he had a confrontation with Emmanuel Petillon, a friend of his wife Jessica Wilson. Prosecutors alleged that Wilson pulled his service revolver on Petillon, threatened to kill him, and gun-butted him. Wilson and his teenage son had stopped by the marital home to collect a pan for a Governor General's Youth Award hike. Wilson went into the home and encountered the man in the hallway. He asked who he was, whom he later learned was Petillon. Wilson said he went into the bathroom and asked his wife why she had a strange man in the house with his children. He said they started to argue, and Petillon interjected. You can read more of this story in today's Nassau Guardian. And over 70 public school students will receive financial assistance from the Public School Scholars Program as they seek a tertiary level education. The program, now in its 10th year since being established, has helped over 1,000 Bahamian public school students. Former Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald, who helped launch the program, says many students from the program were the first in their family to attend college. Overseas, Denmark and Greenland are seeking a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio after the Trump administration doubled down on its intention to take over the strategic Arctic island, a Danish territory. Tensions escalated after the White House said Tuesday that the U.S. military is always an option, even as a series of European leaders rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's renewed calls for the U.S. to take over Greenland, citing strategic reasons. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen warning earlier this week that a U.S. takeover would amount to the end of the NATO military alliance. A defense analyst at the European Policy Center think tank telling the Associated Press, quote, the Nordics do not lightly make statements like this, but it is Trump whose very bombastic language bordering on direct threats and intimidation is threatening the fact to another ally by saying, quote, I will control or annex a territory. The leaders of France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, and the United Kingdom joined Frederiksen in a statement Tuesday reaffirming that the mineral-rich island belongs to its people. Their statement defended the sovereignty of Greenland, which is a self-governing territory of Denmark and thus part of NATO. Trump has floated since his first term the idea of acquiring Greenland, arguing that the U.S. needs to control the world's largest island to ensure its own security in the face of rising threats from China and Russia in the Arctic. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump says that Venezuela would be providing 30 million to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S., and he pledged to use proceeds from the sale of this oil to benefit the people of both the U.S. and Venezuela. The White House is organizing a meeting Friday with U.S. oil company executives to discuss Venezuela, which the Trump administration has been pressuring to open its vast but struggling oil industry more widely to American investment and know-how. Representatives from Exxon, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips are expected to attend the White House meeting, according to a person familiar with the matter who requested anonymity to discuss the plans with the Associated Press. Earlier Tuesday, officials in Caracas announced that at least 24 Venezuelan security officers were killed in the dead-of-night U.S. military operation to capture Nicolas Maduro and spirit him to the United States to face drug charges. And the country's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, pushed back on Trump, who earlier this week warned that she'd face an outcome worse than Maduro's if she does not, quote, do what's right. and overhaul Venezuela into a country that aligns with U.S. interests, including by granting access to American energy companies. Rodriguez, delivering an address Tuesday before government, agricultural, and industrial sector officials, said, quote, "Personally, to those who threaten me, my destiny is not determined by them but by God." Venezuela's Attorney General said overall dozens of officers and civilians were killed in the weekend strike in Caracas, and said prosecutors would investigate the deaths in what he described as a war crime. He didn't specify if the estimate was specifically referring to Venezuelans. In addition to the Venezuelan security officials, Cuba's government had previously confirmed that 32 Cuban military and police officers working in Venezuela were killed in the raid. The Cuban government says the personnel killed belonged to the Revolutionary Armed Forces and the Ministry of the Interior, the country's two main security agencies. China on Tuesday banned exports of dual-use goods that can serve military purposes to Japan, a move that comes at a time of heightened tensions between the two countries over Taiwan, a self-ruled island Beijing claims as its sovereign territory. The Chinese Commerce Ministry saying in a statement that exports of such items, which can serve both civilian and military purposes to Japanese military users and all other end users that could help enhance Japanese military power, are prohibited. Any individual or organization that violates the rule by transferring or providing these made-in-China products to Japanese groups and people would face legal consequences regardless of where they are from, according to the statement. The notice did not identify or describe specific items, but some exports, particularly those in the technology sector, like drones and navigation systems, could be adapted for military use. The Japanese Foreign Ministry's head of Asia-Oceanic Affairs strongly protested to the Chinese deputy consul, according to a statement from the Japanese ministry, saying that a measure exclusively targeting Japan that deviates from international practice is unacceptable, demanding it be retracted. In December, Japan and Chinese military aircraft locked radar on its fighter jets even though there was a safe distance between them. Tokyo is barreling forward with efforts to significantly boost its military capabilities to stand up to China's growing threats by doubling annual arms spending. Last week, China launched large-scale military drills around Taiwan for 2 days to warn against what it calls separatist and external forces. In sports, the 2025 campaign was nothing short of a banner year for the Bahamas Baseball Association. The association making tremendous strides at both the youth and senior levels, fielding a number of successful national teams in international tournaments throughout the year. Most recently, the association hosted the inaugural BBA National High School Baseball Championships, which concluded with the QC Comets taking home the tournament's first championship trophy, the Comets sealing the championship with a 13-3 triumph over the St. Andrews Hurricanes in the gold medal game. The association looking to build on that banner year. Read about that in today's Guardian Sports section. Famed collegiate football player Prince Strachan is on the move, heading from the Pac-12 conference to the Big 12 conference. Strachan, who plays the wide receiver position, entering the NCAA transfer portal and will play for the West Virginia University Mountaineers next year after spending just one season with the University of South Carolina Trojans. The 6'5" junior making the transition to the Trojans program following a 2-year stint at Boise State University. And in what could be described as a continuation of arguably the best professional debut by a Bahamian athlete in any sport ever, Valdez Vijay Edgecombe continues to amaze onlookers, producing on a nightly basis for the Philadelphia 76ers. Bahamian rookie in the NBA recording his 13th straight double-digit scoring game Monday, but the Sixers still fell short, losing to the Denver Nuggets by the slimmest of margins in Philadelphia, 125-124 in overtime. Edgecombe splendid again, scoring all 17 of his points in the second half and overtime, going 0 for 5 from the field and 0 for 3 from three-point range in the first half. He exploded for 9 third-quarter points and added 6 more in the fourth quarter, before scoring a basket in overtime. From the NFL, John Harbaugh's 18-year tenure in Baltimore included 2 distinct periods of success. After taking over, Harbaugh capitalized on the last few years of Ray Lewis's career. And when Lamar Jackson arrived in 2018, the Ravens became contenders again. But Baltimore hasn't experienced as much glory in recent times. So Harbaugh is out of a job. Owner Steve Bisciotti fired Harbaugh on Tuesday after the Ravens were one of the league's most disappointing teams this season. They went 8-9 and missed the playoffs by entering Week 1 as one of the Super Bowl favorites. Baltimore's season ended Sunday night when Tyler Lue missed a last-chance field goal attempt, allowing Pittsburgh to hold on for a 26-24 victory in the game that decided the AFC North title. Harbaugh was fired after coaching special teams and defensive backs for the Philadelphia Eagles. With the Ravens, he went 193-124, including the postseason. He led the 2012 Ravens to a Super Bowl title. And this season was only the 6th time Baltimore missed the postseason under Harbaugh. That's the same number of times the Ravens won the AFC North with him at the helm. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got some weak residual troughing along with some low-level moisture that's going to support some shower activity over portions of the northwest and central Bahamas today through tonight. Meanwhile, building high pressure will continue to produce moderate to locally fresh winds over most of the country. There is a moderate to high risk of rip currents along all Atlantic beaches. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to exercise caution. So for today, for most of the country, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, becoming mostly fair for the extreme northern islands tonight and the central and southeast Bahamas, but partly cloudy for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. Still, most of the country will see about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. A slight chance of offshore isolated thunderstorms possible. Winds variable at less than 10 knots for the extreme northern islands, easterly at 10 knots or less for the northwestern islands, including New Providence and the central Bahamas, and easterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts for the southeastern islands. High temperatures today, about 83 Fahrenheit, 28, 29 Celsius for highs. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 72 Fahrenheit, 21, 22 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking for a school that's international, proudly Bahamian, and truly invested in your child's future? Bring the kids and join us at the St. Andrews International School Open House on Saturday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Meet our passionate teachers, tour our campus, and experience a welcoming community where students are supported, challenged, and inspired to lead with confidence. Come see the St. Andrews difference for yourself. Visit standrewsbahamas.com or call 677-7800. St. Andrews International School, ethics and excellence.
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight, Strachan, and in a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we're going to get into this article that was in the papers yesterday about an IDB report on the stress of the morning commute, the afternoon commute as well, the commute in general, and the impact that has, the school drop-off and pickup, and what that does to people's mental states, and what this means about how we function here, especially in New Providence, and why what we do needs to change. We're going to get into that. That's all ahead, but there is a lot to talk about in the news. In the news, we talked about this yesterday, but it's expected to happen today. The Boundaries Report expected to be tabled in the House today, and once that happens, you might as well say the bell has been rung, right? Rachel Scott writing about it in today's National Guardian, though. The long-awaited Boundaries Report, which is expected to create 2 new constituencies, is expected to be tabled in Parliament today. The National Guardian understands the report is said to recommend the creation of 2 new seats, one called Bimini and Barry Islands, as well as a new seat in Western New Providence. Reports also expected to recommend boundary changes in several constituencies across the country. So it's expected that the one in New Providence will be the split of Killarney into 2 constituencies, which it's a pretty big constituency right now, so a lot of people don't have any issue with that. But there's an interesting article in the Tribune today about the Barry Islanders, who don't seem to be too happy about being lumped together with Bimini. So this article says that with the Boundaries Commission expected to table its long-awaited report in Parliament today, Barry Island residents are calling for their own parliamentary seat. Okay. Warning that proposals to merge the island with Bimini would once again leave them overlooked. Barry Islands are currently paired with North Andros and were previously combined with Bimini. Sources say the Davis administration is expected to propose changes that would again pair the island with Bimini. The Tribune understands the report also recommends creating a new seat in Western New Providence, combining multiple communities, including parts of Killarney, under a single electoral boundary. When contacted for comment yesterday, many Barry Island residents told the Tribune that the island deserves a representative from their own community who can properly advocate for their needs in Parliament. They argue that when paired with larger or more politically dominant islands, the Barry Islands are routinely marginalized. Erica Knowles, a Barry Islands resident, said she was surprised to learn of the proposed new seat configuration. She said, quote, "This is news to me." Well, of course, it's not happened yet, but okay, sure. As always, they don't consult with the people. They just do their own thing. Knowles expressed disappointment that the Barry Islands would once again be grouped with another island. I mean, how many people live on the Barry Islands, though? I mean, but let's be realistic, though. I mean, right now, you really should, yes, put forward a candidate. Why not? You could do it, but it's not unreasonable that such a tiny community would be paired with another community. She said, quote, "We were paired with North Andros, and so they were combining us with Bimini again. I just think that the Barry Islands needs to be a standalone seat. That's my feeling on the whole thing." When asked why, she said past pairings have brought little benefit to residents. She said, quote, "It doesn't matter who they pair us with. Nothing gets done in any event." Wow. Knowles believes a separate constituency would improve representation. See, we've got this issue across the country. People not seeing the difference between member of parliament representation, constituency representation, and local government. Right? The two are not the same. And people are expecting to see things from an MP that should be the responsibility of local government. And if we had the right type of local government, empowered local government here, we wouldn't hear such cries. But this is going to continue, and to the benefit of many, many, many people, mainly the people in the House of Assembly. But this is so sad and very, very unfortunate. Noel said it would be better if we could have persons from the community who have an interest in the community to represent us, because as of now, representation is severely lacking. She pointed to several long-standing challenges, including poor telecommunications. She said, quote, BTC is non-existent on the island. They closed their location due to mold, and that was over maybe 2 years ago, and the building never reopened. So they don't have a presence here. So the stuff doesn't work either, like the phones and the, okay. She said that the absence on the island of technicians has made service unreliable. She said, quote, in the last several days alone, we've been having challenges. You may not have been able to reach me if you tried to call like 3 hours ago. Oh, boy, okay. And then banking services are also limited with only a credit union operating on the island. Noel said that even that service was recently under threat due to low transaction volumes. Well, all the more reason why you can't have a standalone constituency. But anyway, infrastructure remains another concern, particularly delayed road works. Saying, quote, they've been doing the road works now for 3 years. The work has been on and off, but mostly off. Adding that the activity has resumed as elections approach, of course. She also noted ongoing challenges in education, including a shortage of teachers. I mean, a lot of these sound like the problems we're seeing all over the country, though. So, Berry Islands, welcome to the Bahamas. Noel said some development is taking place through cruise-related projects at Great Stirrup Cay, where construction is nearing completion on what will be known as Pleasure Island. Oh, boy, what a name. Once completed, the Berry Islands will host 2 cruise ports, in addition to Little Stirrup Cay's Perfect Day at Coco Cay. VJ Reckley agreed that the Berry Islands needs their own seat, saying past arrangements with Bimini and Andros have consistently left the islands overlooked. He said, quote, I think we should get our separate seat because don't care who you put with us, they always put us last. Though originally from Andros, Reckley has lived and worked in the Berry Islands as a landscaper for many years, saying, quote, I've been here long enough to know that we need our own representation, our own representative to just focus on what the Berry Islands need. See, this is the same language. Well, this is very, very, very sad. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves. It just isn't making sense. He described telecommunications as one of the most pressing issues, so that's that again. He also raised concerns about emergency services, noting that while the island recently received a fire truck through private efforts, residents still lack access to a public ambulance. He says, quote, anyone here gets sick, you have to get transported via a private vehicle. He spoke to more residents. Alexandria Moss said residents should have been consulted before any changes were made to constituency boundaries, noting that decisions are often taken without local input. She argued that under the current pairing with North Andros, Great Harbor Cay generates more revenue but receives fewer infrastructure upgrades, pointing to long delayed road works and the need for a new school rather than temporary repairs. Saying, quote, it should not take you 4 years to complete roads. And the school, we don't need no more patching here and there. We need a new school. Moss also raised concerns about unsafe government buildings and limited social services, noting that the Berry Islands share a social worker with North Andros. What? Wow. Who visits only every few months. Residents said these recurring challenges are why the Barrier Islands should have a dedicated representative, one from their community, focused solely on their needs. Well, again, I'm telling you, looking at this in the wrong way. Plenty areas have a dedicated MP, and it doesn't do what you think. But it's real empowered local government that we need all over this country. And it wouldn't matter if you're paired with 5 islands for your House representative if you had real effective local government. We've got to get the people to understand this, and then the people will push, hopefully, for these folks in the House to get it. But we've got to work on it, folks. What can we do to get the message out there that we're calling and crying about the wrong things, Do you get it? Do you understand how this works? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Got to look up the population of the Barrier Islands because I don't understand why they think they should have an MP. But they definitely need real local government. Caller, what say you on it? Good morning. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Dwight, I have been very supportive of the aspects of what you speak to when it comes down to local government. We see semblance of it again. Spanish Wells, Abaco, even to a point, San Salvador, to a certain extent. But more noticeably would be Spanish Wells. You talk about looking, and even Harbor Island to a point too. But we are playing around with this thing. We've seen, sadly, we've seen things that can particularly work here if being adapted from other places around the world. We can bring them here and get them to work. But unfortunately, we, the people, are so still stuck into doing things the old way, and we are just basically afraid of change. I think basically the first lesson many of us need
Are you afraid?
No.
No. Who's really
I'm
afraid?
not,
I think it's
from-
only the people who are in the House. I think it's only the current MPs who are afraid of this, that we will not need them for every little thing, and that they may be irrelevant.
But even that is a false solution. And let me explain what I mean by that. The cabinet is a cabinet, and it seems to be the even though you have the prime minister, the cabinet seems to be the body that passes legislation and all that stuff. The mayors on the ground, however, and I'm gonna do it from the point that you and I seem to agree. The mayors and the councils on the ground dictates what happened in the constituency, in the areas and everything. That's an autonomous body. And then that autonomous body then reports to another level, if that, before it gets to cabinet, or it goes direct to cabinet. But we have the MPs, and I think this is the problem we have here. We the people, do not truly understand what the role of the member of parliament is all about. The member of parliament isn't about doing roads, patching roads. The member of parliament isn't about garbage collection. They're legislators. So we need to put the other tier in place. The people who are going to be on the ground to ensure that infrastructure in terms of light and water with the different corporations and stuff is done according to what is needed in the area. And then when that does not happen, that body then reports to the MP. But that body is really necessary, and that's the body that's missing out of this whole equation. Until we take the power, and this is the part, and I'll close on this, it seems as if the cabinet of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas does not understand, apparently, that the MP is not there to do the day-to-day task of what's on the ground.
The cabinet certainly understands. The cabinet
do not want to lose that direct power with the people in terms of controlling whether they eat, whether the roads get patched, whether the electricity turn on. That's a bunch of nonsense.
So they do understand, and they don't want to lose the power. So that's why they've not changed it.
Yeah, well, I'm just being very facetious here, but for the sake of the people who's listening, we need to really accept and understand what the role of the member of parliament is all about. We need to stop calling them and demand that local government comes into play here. And that's all it is. It's just we, the people, We're standing in our own way. Thanks for taking my call, Dwight.
Thanks a lot. Well, again, a lot of people benefit from the crumbs that the MPs and the cabinet will throw their way. So they don't want to upset that, the little contracts they get here and there. And that is holding us back in a big way. Chester Robards, good morning. Good to have you with us. Let's get your mic up there.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for filling in when I was not here.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, wonderful. We'll get a chance again soon.
What?
All right, so we're talking about the boundaries report expected today, and it's been widely expected or reported that Bimini and the Barry Islands will be grouped together again. Apparently it was before, and that'll happen again. And but there's a report in the Tribune. Barry Islands is like, oh, no, not again. We don't want that. We need our own seat. But that's ridiculous. They only have about 1,000 people, according to the last census, scattered across many islands. So that would not going to make sense. Not going to make sense. But again, I don't think the folks are looking at this in the right way.
Which folks?
The Barry Islanders.
They're not.
They're not. They're saying they're being neglected. They're forgotten. They're last on anyone's mind whenever they're grouped with anybody. And
Barry Islanders.
yes, but the issue.
They got a new airport.
Okay, well, the issue is in the
But if
fact.
the cell phones ain't working, then that's an issue.
Well, apparently nothing is, and they got a social worker who comes every 3 months or something. But the issue is that they don't have empowered local government.
Right.
To handle the things they need done.
Right.
Right? And
They
now,
wanna-
of course, that means the MP isn't working for them to get that to happen. But the MPs are not doing that for anybody.
They
it
want to
seems.
elect the cruise lines for mayor. It sounds.
I don't think so. This is not a joking matter, sir. This is very serious. I don't think anybody wants that. But
Well, they're the only ones building anything around there, right?
Oh, boy.
Apparently.
Opening a place
And the
called
cruise
Pleasure
lines.
Island. What is Pleasure
What is
Island? Do you
Pleasure
know
Island?
about that?
Yeah.
Boy, my God.
What does that have to do with it?
That's a cruise line place, apparently.
I don't remember that.
Pleasure
name.
Island?
I don't remember that name coming up.
That's very odd. But we're getting a reaction to it, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. This texter says that it's simple. They just need to put forth an independent candidate for themselves. Yeah, they could do that, right? But
What's that going to do?
I mean, get a candidate, elect that person from the Barry Islands. I mean, I don't know if your 1,000 will counter the Bimini. I don't know how many they have in Bimini. Let's see. Yeah, have your person win the seat. See if that makes a difference. Huh?
I mean, being lumped with Bimini is not a bad thing, is it? I mean, even though they seem not to get along with the Biminites, is that what it is?
Well, no, it's not that. They just say that they get Bimini is a flashier place.
I was
that will
going to say,
get more
they think
attention.
Bimini's going to get more attention?
Yes,
Oh,
that's how it was in the past. They say.
I see.
Yeah. Caller, what say you on this?
Good morning to man. Listen, this young fellow, he held the fort for you, and he did an excellent job. Now you are promising. You're promising now that you're going to engage his services shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Dwight, I think you on to something here. Bahamians need to have an appreciation for what is the difference between central and local government.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really is the reason why we are in this quagmire. And realizing that without local government, it only benefits the government in power. So maybe we can do some shows really defining and explaining to the persons, that central government will, they look over the entire nation. They pass laws and policies, and they apply them, right?
Some more shows. Yes, more shows, because we've done a whole lot.
Yeah, they manage the defense, foreign relations, and all that other stuff. And local government would be addressing specific needs, such as like collecting the waste.
And all the things that the Barry Islanders were complaining about in that article, the things that they say aren't working, the fact that,
Well, locally here, in the Bahamas, our transportation system would come under local government.
That's why we don't have one.
Huh?
That's why we don't have one in New Providence, because we don't have a local government. And to keep telling people it'll never happen, as long as we continue to expect the central government to provide
Somehow
something
we
sensible.
need to explain to the public how having those separated would benefit growth. But the powers to be don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we're going to rip that away from them when they are in control. What is the
No. We are the problem. We are the problem. It's bigger than them. I'm telling you, it's the people who are brainwashed into believing that when my guy gets in, I'm going to get that contract. And so if he's telling them, well, if they're local government, I won't be able to do this for you anymore. And so the people are like, oh, we don't need no local government. This island's too small for that. So that is the problem. We are feeding into their nonsense. And we've put ourselves into this box. Why are you looking at me like that, Chester Robards? You don't think that's what it is? Because there's only 38 of them. 39. 41 soon.
Continue doing what you're doing, because this is a very important point that the Bahamas need to recover from. Or else we just continue to fall.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, something as simple as creating a city of Nassau district that would be governed by a council or whatever they were going to set up. Mm-hmm. That's a 15-year-old dream that's been deferred.
Longer?
That seemed like a simple process, and they had the legislation drawn up twice, I think. Now is the second time, because they were supposed to do legislation again for it, and that's still chilling somewhere. So,
yeah.
Also, how much of government revenue will have to be separated from the central pool if you start to give local governments the type of power that you want to give them?
Yeah, I don't think it's as difficult as some will have you believe. So let me tell you this. Back when Minnis was doing this, right, talking about setting up, looking into local government for New Providence, right? That was when they increased VAT from 7.5% to 12%.
Right.
And I truly believed, because I was insane, that was, oh wow, they're really going to do the local government for New Providence. And so I see they're increasing VAT to 12% because they'll probably keep the national VAT at 7.5% and let the islands, beginning with New Providence, keep the difference between 7.5 and 12 as revenue and maybe get real property tax as well. But of course, no, that didn't happen. No local government. They kept the whole VAT, but that was something that could have been done there.
Okay, but that's just New Providence. That's where
that would have been. That could have applied to everybody. That could have applied to everyone, right? And that seemed like a simple beginning there. And like I said, real property tax, which is not on the other islands, but that could have been allowed to happen. But it isn't complicated.
Well, no, but the country's finances need to be able to support it because the country doesn't understand how to finance the entire country.
What that proves that they wouldn't have been happen. It wouldn't have been able to happen.
I'm sure they don't know how to make the financial part of that equation happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you realize the infrastructure problems in the Family Islands, you hear it all the time. You heard it in that story. Going to need a lot of money at the moment.
Yeah.
Now you start giving every island their own mayor or who has to control a budget and who wants to actually get
it'll
work
be a process.
Done. It'll be a
process.
No,
I mean, as in you won't do that everybody tomorrow, bam, right?
But you almost have to if you want to decentralize.
No, you don't. You don't. You prove that you are there, like Grand Bahama, you probably could start immediately. Maybe Abaco, but like how it was for so many other countries, Australia, Canada, the United States, you gradually became a state. It didn't happen overnight. Once you proved you met certain criteria, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? It's not going to be everybody. It can't happen to everybody. But I'm just saying, we need more autonomy, and we need to have the discussion.
Just like waterworks. It can't all happen. You know, some islands have to chill in the dark ages for a while.
Some of them seem quite fine there.
Oh.
But because they're not saying anything. They're not saying a word. But the others are crying out. Others are crying out. And it's not, it's like preparing your kids to leave the house. I mean, you don't just kick them out once they hit in certain, well, if you.
I thought you meant just like getting them dressed for school or something.
No, I mean, like, hey, 18, get out of here. No, I mean, right. Some people do, but not
the American way. But
not even anymore, right?
No, not anymore.
But we're not even talking about it.
Yeah.
We've got brilliant minds here who can set it up, like each island gradually for you. You could do this in this time, and this is your timeline. By 2036, you'd be here, and by 2041, you would be semi-autonomous. You got to start thinking. We're not even doing that. We're just saying the same things over and over for decades now. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Dwight, I can keep telling you us old and previously. You know, I can say a couple things this morning. We wouldn't get nothing done in this country until we get rid of the move to school. You all can't see these people in case? Huh? I don't know why these people want power so much. Some of them come and want a talk shop. Being 13, building the doors with a debt. My children and grandchildren can't buy land in the island of New Province where they're born. I figure if you would own a key and own a house cost $20 million, you got to pay land tax. You ain't probably charging me no land tax. I don't care if my house values $1 million. You see, the fact of the matter is the country is a rich country. Bad governance on both the PFPs and FNM. Dwight, I on the ground, trust me, our people are not happy. You know, Dwight, our people are not happy. You see, look, like in this country, you get rewarded for when you do bad things. See, I see my good boy Trump doing a good thing right now, with all the wants and all the people and all the fella from California. They shut down something, all the forgery, stealing, and the same thing happening in the Bahamas. Nobody go to the jail. Nobody go to Fox. They move it from one ministry and put it to the next. Country cannot do any of that now. Nobody would be above the law. Half of those guys, they didn't business and House Assembly tomorrow or whenever they get there. Our law say they're supposed to declare permanent secretaries, commissioner of police, senior civil servants, but they ain't getting to jail. You know what I mean? Because they're breaking the law. People all about on the road, but these motorbikes, not licensed insured, master people car, no consequences to it. I can leave with this point, Dwight. And you know, my boy Trump will never allow another nation to destroy the Bahamas because we wait in America back door. They watching everything. And time to take my call.
Okay. Let's read some text messages. This person says here, does anybody in any constituency get representation in the House of Assembly from a sitting government? Every single MP sits there with their mouth pinned up. Well, I don't know what you mean by that, but they certainly talk about stuff. I don't know if they talk about important stuff. They say
their mouth pinned up.
They say happy congratulations to the something team and this person's condolences to that and congratulations to this person and then
my constituency supports this
right
bill,
right
even though they don't really know if they do.
Yeah, well, so I don't know if that means pin up. But okay. Can we name one island with local government where it works like we expect it to? You mean outside of the Bahamas? That's what you mean? Because we don't have real local government here. We don't have a real local government. We have a thing. And they did give them a little more power.
Freeport, right?
No, Chester. No, Chester. I tell you, this is not a joking matter. This is not funny. Freeport may be the worst. We don't have it, so I don't know what you're asking. Or is it just an extension of the sitting government pandering to local supporters? Exactly. That is what it is. The government continues to make secret deals to sell off our beaches. What? And keys, bite by bite on this dubious private cruise ship port strategy. I guess we can look forward to more statements on poor outcomes and unintended negative consequences on local commerce.
Bite.
Bite by bite. Little bite here.
Oh.
What do you mean?
I didn't know what they were saying. What you were saying.
Oh. I wish the entire population of this country could visit Canada for a while. That comment was said by a former FNM member of Parliament. Who really? Who was that? Bahamians would see how effective real local government works. Oh. You sure?
They could send all of us to
However, he did not push for it when he was in Parliament. Who was this person? What happened to him?
Who? What?
Who said that?
Who
No,
said
you
that?
got. I don't know. That's crazy.
Oh,
and that person ended up being
an MP said that?
F&M MP
Oh,
said that they wished that the entire country would visit Canada to see how real local government works.
Oh.
But he didn't push for it when he was in Parliament. He's a traitor. He should be anyway. But who was that? Because he's right. But also, what? Why didn't he do anything?
I don't know if any right-thinking Bahamian needs to go to some other country to see how it works. I think they understand.
No, clearly not.
You sure?
Clearly not.
I think
Because
they
they're
understand.
still talking stupidness about
I mean,
my MP. No one anywhere else says
People tell them
I
all the
need
time.
my MP to fix this road.
If they are able to travel, they go to places like Miami that's run by mayors. It's been run by mayors, and council members.
And they watch it and they see how the people get up in the meetings and
Yeah.
complain to the council.
Council,
The
yeah.
council has to vote on stuff, but that's your real government acting for you immediately. But yet they expect their MP to be a magician.
But,
And the
you
MP
know,
encourages it often.
to that caller's point, there's not enough accountability. Like, we don't do a great job. I mean, we say this all the time, and I guess we're just beating dead horse with it. But it's just not enough accountability, right? When I was over there in school, you know, they had that, I think he was a council member, a city council member, who came into the Miami Herald after an investigation and killed himself, right? I mean, you remember that story?
Mm-mm.
But it was just because the people were like, no, what are you doing? You're doing, there's something wrong here.
Wow.
And everybody agreed, and finally this person just had enough because he knew he was doing wrong.
Wow, that's crazy.
But we don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's a faction of people who are for the party in power. There's a faction of people who are doing so well in life that they don't care.
They don't care.
And then there's a faction of people who may not have the mental faculties to care. And so here we are.
Wow. Caller, let's take this call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight in Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, here we are again. You know, the Boundaries Commission is supposed to be submitting their report today. But Dwight, has the register been cleaned up and tidy up? Is this an accurate numbers that we're looking at here, or are they still looking for people? Where are we at with it?
That's an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing process, but they are meeting and making recommendations. You know, I listened to Donnie yesterday. I mean, I'm the question, and she spoke about where she takes vacation. She said, Opelika, Florida.
Pensacola.
Pensacola. All of that, basically. But the point I'm trying to make is, right, you have a governor down there, Santos. He is overseeing. I mean, you have different layers of government, but the bottom line is he is responsible for over 30 million people in Florida. 30 million. I don't know who these people we are electing or who are vying for office, who can't manage 5,000 people or 2,000. I mean, like, what are we doing in the Bahamas, man? Where are these people coming from? You can't manage or oversee, let's say 10,000 people, 15,000 people.
All right, so these are really different things you're talking about. And there
No,
are...
right, because we are talking about why we are increasing the seats.
No, it's not the same thing because they have House representatives in Florida as well, and it's going to be a much smaller number. So it's going to be that's not an accurate. It's not fair to do what you're doing. But they have. You need to break it down by the House and how much a House seat is.
Yes, but again,
your point, your first point was valid. Yes, so they have different layers of government, and they are responsible for different things.
Yeah, but then
we only have, it seems, one.
Right. How much layers do we need in the Bahamas?
More.
5,000 people.
We need more. We need more. Obviously, we need more.
You can't call it local government, right? Because obviously these people guiding the governance of the Bahamas zealously. What about municipal?
It's not up to them.
There has to be.
I mean,
something
let's not get
right.
caught up on the name, but whatever you want to call it. But we need to decentralize the government.
Be in agreement, right?
Yes.
Be in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But my only point is, why are they embarrassing us by talking about how difficult it is to manage a small grouping of people? This is the highest elected office in the land, the entire country. And this is where we are. I mean, the people, we've been hearing about these things when we were children. We are adults now. Most of those persons are retired. Some have died and moved on. Who served? Who is holding us back right now?
Again, see...
Because these are new people.
Representation in the House when it comes to laws is different from representation when it comes to managing the affairs of a city, a county, or a state.
Right to what we
I don't care if they have 100 seats in the House, right? That's irrelevant. It's about managing the affairs of an island, a city, a town, and we're not doing that.
The bulk of the work that they are managing, which is, you say it every day, the bulk of the work they are managing has nothing to do with being an area member of parliament, serving breakfast, serving lunch, raking up yard, cleaning up exercise. Those persons are vying for an elected office to bring legislation, policies, programs which are relative to the area that they are representing.
All right, so I'd say don't get caught up on whether they want to increase the number of seats in the House. Maybe that'll mean more people who might be willing to listen to the people who voted for them to say to them, we want you to push for there to be municipal government in our various islands.
We are the people, Dwight.
We have to do this.
Calling for these things.
Yes.
We're not getting these basic things.
Well, I don't know how many of us are doing it. I don't think it's that many, right? I don't think MPs are hearing this from a whole bunch of people. And so you and I need to work on making sure that Bahamian people...
Like, you're trying to tell me they complain about these things in opposition, and when they get in, you're trying to tell me that...
You hear many opposition members say they want real local government and municipal government in the country?
Every time you ask them, and when they're in opposition...
You need to look in their face when they answer that question, because they're not serious.
Okay,
Most of them aren't. Most of them aren't.
That's fine. But anyway...
But we need to make sure they understand that we are serious.
Yeah, but who is to be? Because
you and me
have been saying this now
and Chester.
I was in high school.
We got to keep working. It is not going to end until we get it to happen.
Well, you see why I say, right? You see why I say, and then when people say these things, many Bahamians feel the way I feel, they want, it seems as if that superpowers, because bear in mind now, we have over 50,000 Americans living here in the Bahamas who are being adversely affected as well. It seems as if that we're going to have to get, that someone going to have to put pressure on these legislators to enact common sense legislation and policies and initiatives that can work to benefit all of the people. It just can't be about a few elected persons going to parliament and who is controlling these things like they're dictators. They need to free up and expand on government and stop acting like dictators, because that's when you look at it, one can easily conclude that that's where we are. Because why are they not freeing up the power, and why they're not, to the disadvantage of everybody? And we've been preaching these things now for decades, and you still are getting the same thing. And they're not even embarrassed as to why the reasons that they're bringing to us to justify their inaction. Mm-hmm. This thing is just pathetic, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. We do have to take some responsibility, though. We need to be more vocal. We do. I hear you, but
where does the vocalization need to come from? It's coming from the radio, sure. It's coming from the opposition.
They're always dismissing. Sure. They're saying these people on the radio always talking nonsense.
Well, if the people on the radio talking nonsense, us and the callers, and a few people out on the street, then...
They are, I'm telling you now, they can pacify a lot of the people who are...
They do.
Can, and they do, by giving them a contract, giving them a job. Hey, come over here. We got this for you, this ministry, this department. You head up this. You be my PR person. So that's what's happening. You see how many people have jobs?
A third of the population is pacified.
But we have.
And not just by that.
And so it's only a few of us. I'm telling you, it's only a few of us speaking like this.
Well, why do you think people have no hope?
So
why do you think the Bahamian Contracts Association is like they're never gonna?
Yeah, what are we gonna
put
do?
a board together?
We say
why do you
this.
think we are out here for years now calling for a Freedom of Information Act?
But if they can get to everybody who called in today who says they support it and get you a contract or a job, I mean, then you won't be able to talk, and that's what they've been doing.
But they never offer me anything.
Keep talking like
Where's
this.
my bag?
Would you accept it? See, now he's looking at me. Oh boy! And you see, that's a challenge right there.
I want to see this country work.
People
I want Bahamians.
People are saying me getting paid is the country working.
No, I don't need to get paid that way.
And that is the greatest challenge we have
That's
right
not
now.
the country working.
You're silencing people with the jobs and the positions and the appointments and the ambassadorships and all this stuff. Who knows how many people know? Because these people have traveled. They go all over the place. Canada, Australia, England, everywhere. They know how it works. But for some reason, the Bahamas is unique. And we can continue with this very strange setup. Huh? Nah, this isn't making any sense.
It feels like it's been happening since the late 70s.
Because this is how it's been. This is how it's been. If you can take it, you'll be okay. And then anybody else who doesn't want to take it, you're going to be out in the wilderness, and you better be able to withstand the extremes out there.
They say that about so many more things.
We got to go to the news. I know the phone lines are all lit up. We'll pick this up on the other side. We've got a lot to talk about on this Wednesday. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796, standard text rate supply. And now at 8:21, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got some weak residual troughing along with some low-level moisture. It's going to support some shower activity over portions of the northwest and central Bahamas today through tonight. Meanwhile, building high pressure will continue to produce locally fresh winds over much of the country today. High pressure is going to strengthen across the islands while gradually shifting eastwards for the remainder of the week. That's going to allow for some breezy conditions, warmer temperatures, you feel that already, along with a few brief passing showers. On Sunday night into Monday morning, a cold front's expected to push southeastwards across the northern Bahamas and into the central Bahamas by Tuesday. That's going to bring some locally strong winds and cooler temperatures again across the area and behind that front. For today, though, ahead of all of that, look for a moderate to high risk of rip currents affecting all Atlantic beaches. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to exercise caution in these areas. Your forecast for today, most areas will see a mix of sun and clouds, turning mostly fair tonight. For most areas, again, partly cloudy for the northwest Bahamas by midday. A 10 to 20% chance of showers. Temperatures today, highs around 83, 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 72, 73 Fahrenheit, 22, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for tomorrow, Thursday, a mix of sun and clouds during the day, becoming mostly fair at night. Partly cloudy by Friday. That's going to hold into Saturday, and a Sunday cloudy weekend. And for the start of the new work week, rain chances increase as well for the northern islands as that front moves through. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. Time for your traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. A lot to tell you about traffic-wise. We've got works going on. We've got Carmichael Road. Work started yesterday and expected to continue for the remainder of the week, mainly between 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Carmichael between Unison Road and Blyden Road. So you're asked to avoid this area if possible, or to at least follow the posted traffic signs and keep that in mind. Again, that's 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the remainder of the week. Then we have Windsor Road between Bernard Road and Kildare Drive. That's expected to start today for about 10 days between 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So again, to follow the posted signs or avoid the area entirely on Windsor Road there. And then Balfour Avenue, that also starts today for about 7 days until the work is completed. That's going to happen mainly at night between Claridge Road and East Street, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Avoid the area if you can. In your real-time traffic, got a lot of hot spots to tell you about. We've got Mile Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic for you just north of the Fire Trail roundabout. You're going to be seeing that heavy traffic northbound to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Got some slow-moving traffic westbound on Fire Trail towards that roundabout with Mile Butler Highway. And the Faith Avenue area looking pretty busy for you right now also. Then as you get to the roundabout with Tonic Williams Darling Highway, you're seeing a lot of slow-moving traffic, multiple directions. You're seeing that west of that area heading into Harold Road. You've got it northbound into your Providence Highway. And some slow-moving westbound traffic along Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Also eastbound on Tonic Williams Darling Highway towards Bahamas Games Boulevard. Blue Hill Road also busy for you near St. Vincent and especially near Carmichael. Both directions there between Soldier and Carmichael. Slow-moving traffic there, but that's going to extend if you're heading northbound all the way up to Independence Drive Independence Drive westbound, also heavy traffic there. East Street, not looking good for you at all. If you're south of the roundabout with East-West Highway, that whole area between Sapodilla Boulevard and the roundabout, both directions, slow-moving traffic. And Soldier Road, especially near Windsor Place, seeing some slow-moving traffic. Prince Charles Drive, also not a place you want to be on right now, especially if you're heading westbound. You're going to be seeing a lot of very slow-moving traffic into Robinson Road, not moving straight up to Marathon and East-West Highway. Eastern Road also busy for you just east of Fox Hill, straight up to Johnson Road, but still slow-moving all the way into Shirley Street, especially near Shirley and Village Road, Eastern Road, that whole area not looking pretty for you. And Shirley's still going to be busy west of there. And downtown, a lot happening downtown today, so east of Arawak, slow-moving eastbound traffic on West Bay Street. Good luck this morning. You will need it. That's your morning blend traffic. Brought to you also by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Reminding you that whether you prefer a face-to-face chat or handling things online, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
At Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible. For everyone, everywhere. For every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. Leave them right here under the tree for...
For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean? 'Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use.
Mm-hmm.
So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do, yeah. I'll find Dame Doris Johnson and Sir Randall Fox, L.W. Young and C.C. Sweeting too. Oh, Mr. Timothy Gibson and Clarence Bain, Sir Henry Taylor, Sir Kendall Isaacs too. I'll find Sir Roland Simonet, the first Bahamian premier, Sir Gerald Cash, and A.R. Brennan too. Oh, Mr. Carlton Francis, and Sir Evian Depuch, Mr. Norman Solomon, and D.A. Gibson too. Yeah, they are our heroes, Bahamian heroes. They paved the way back in the day. Our heroes, Bahamian heroes. Let us cherish their legacy every day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight, Strachan, and Chester Robards on this Wednesday morning, 7th day of January 2026. All right, so we continue to talk about the boundaries and the need for decentralized government and municipal government, local government, more local autonomy for many of our communities. Getting a lot of reaction to it. And we know the phone lines were lit up before we went to the break. But call us back. Chester has something to say. Call us back.
I was going to ask a question.
Yeah. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. What were you going to ask?
But so they mentioned splitting up Killarney, but it's not, even though it's a physically big constituency, it's not one of the biggest, doesn't have one of the biggest numbers of voters, right?
I think it was pretty big. I don't know if it was one of the biggest, but it was pretty big.
Tall Pines is the biggest, right?
That was a lot, yeah. Well, or is it the last one? What was this by-election? They had a lot. Supposedly 7,000.
Isn't that Tall Pines?
No. Golden Isles.
Golden Isles, sorry.
Right,
Golden Isles is the biggest, right?
It was pretty big. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because most of Killarney is lake.
Well, you hope. Because you know how things work around here. Just because it's named something doesn't mean that the actual
is in
that constituency, right? That asks the people in Elizabeth and Yamacraw. All right, so we got your so by the way, so Bimini, according to the census, had about 1,000 people. No, Barry Islands had about 1,000 people, and Bimini has 2,300 or so people. So 2,300, 2,300 versus 1,000. Bimini, that little rock. Right. So Barry Islands.
No wonder so much tensions over there. Sorry.
Barry Islands, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So it's text messages. This person says, regarding the constituency boundary changes, I'm hoping that if the constituency of Killarney, that in the constituency of Killarney, that they create a second seat in that area. The FNM does not do fool and consider former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis for that seat, as if he is elected to Parliament, he will likely still continue to disrespect the party leadership and be a distraction for the party for the next 5 years. Oh,
don't do fool.
The man will not change. That's the text. Well, they got so many people vying for seats. They got a long list. I think some people are hoping they create 5 more seats. Dwight, please visit Crooked Island. They treat us like the red-headed stepchild. Crooked Island, Acklands, and Long Key need help badly. We've been neglected. Road work not completed in 5 years. BTC is almost non-existent. And BPL has major issues, especially on Crooked Island. We need help. Oh, boy. Ah, boy. And again, so many areas are going to speak just like this. Even here in New Providence, who can say these things. But yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. The section says here, thanks for that reminder of the previous attempt by local government under the Mints administration, because my question concerning local government was how will they get internal funding without having to introduce taxes specific to the constituencies? Well, that's going to be a part of it. I mean, you can't avoid that. But at least if it's not going to the consolidated fund, you will likely see where your money's going and have a more direct, hopefully if you structure it right, path to accountability where you can really question the people and see it there. Like, yeah, I know that I pay for this. This garbage picked up Tuesday at 9 a.m. I know this. That this division works on the roads here. This one does the parks. This one does the little bus or train or whatever it is. Yeah. You would see it. But you will have to. That is just how it works.
Yeah. Cost of living got to go up.
Does it necessarily? I mean, I don't know. I don't. Okay. Cost. Additional costs.
Yes.
Cost of living.
To live.
Not necessarily, but anyway. But taxes will likely be a part of it. Same thing with health insurance. If you want more protection, right? You can. That's just unfortunately how the world works. But again, we're paying for a lot of stuff now and not seeing.
Diddly?
Seeing the benefits of it. Or only right before election time.
Yeah.
Right? So which one you want? You can go with this or you can go with that.
You know how much paint they paying for to paint the side of the road?
Well, they're doing that one often, aren't they? What's that about? They do that every few months.
And got to do it every other week.
Because people are running up over
black,
it.
Black the next week.
The next hour. It looks nice, but what is it? What's going on there? I mean, it looks neat, but it just seems like, are these people tortured? Are they being like, this is your punishment is to stand in the sun
and they give them
pave
one cone to make you drive around that one area,
pave the edge of the sidewalk, and come back in a month to do it over.
Yeah. Paint that curb every other week.
Wow. Okay. Can you clarify if there are other options on how local government would get funding internally? Because I believe another reason why the government would be opposed is because they are unwilling to surrender control of a portion of the overall budget specifically for local government. They certainly are unwilling. They are unwilling. We can explore. We can do more shows, as the previous caller said. We can do some shows on how these things work around the world. Yeah. But generally, because the central government would be responsible for fewer things, they can reduce the amount of taxes they put on people, and then allow the other states to
say what now?
That's generally how it works. Like, we are only responsible for this, so
they're not responsible for it now. What are you talking about? They don't do it now.
They are responsible for it. Do they do it? That's a different story.
Right, so they ain't saving money because they don't do it.
No, see, I don't know where you go with that. But
it is what it is.
But so we could reduce the duty on this because we'll give this back. You can increase your whatever here, so you can deal with your issues. Whereas nationally, we'll only take this. You know what I mean? And that's generally how that works. But we'll get some.
I've heard people say it's financially irresponsible to take care of certain parts of the country where people live.
See, only a central government would talk like that.
Well, it wasn't the central government saying it, but I'm just saying.
But somebody who's centrally government-minded.
Yeah, probably.
Unshackle those people and let them find their own foreign direct investment or Bahamians who moved away from that area, who are living elsewhere, to come back. Let them watch and see.
Yeah.
Watch and see what happens. Free them.
Yeah, I agree.
And watch and see. This person says, in more crackhead games, as much as we gripe and complain I'm editing this. And moan. The uncomfortable truth is every election cycle we keep acquiescing to a substandard level of representation over and over again. And yet the solution is painfully simple. If you want to fix the family islands, New Providence, education, healthcare, the judicial system, and the national security, make it mandatory that anyone occupying a leadership role in government must, barring emergencies, use the exact same services as the people they represent. Same public clinics, same schools, same roads, same courts, and yes, live in the constituency they claim to serve. Because when leaders feel the inconvenience, the inefficiencies, the delays, and the neglect firsthand, urgency suddenly appears. Accountability becomes real. Excuses disappear. If you want transformational governance, start right there. Then sit back and watch the difference. Okay. That's one of the solutions. I totally agree with you on that. I've been saying that for a long time. You got to make all these folks send their kids to public school. That would be a requirement. And if you have a problem with that, well, then you don't run. That would make a big difference. I'm telling you now.
Can you imagine them having to uproot their kids?
No. Plenty of people wouldn't be running.
We have a lot more childless people running. For sure.
Okay. Maybe. But that would make a big difference. Absolutely. You could make it
right now,
exception for the prime minister. Perhaps. Maybe.
Why?
Maybe. For security purposes. I don't know. You could maybe. But everybody, especially the Minister of Education.
Just send security to school with them.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. That definitely would make a difference. And I do believe that the MPs should live in the constituency. I do believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. This text is call is coming to you in a second. This person says, my problem with local government is that known people who were drug dealers and criminals who were able to evade the the law are now becoming mayors of these family islands. Where do we have mayors? What?
Maybe they have invaded the law as well.
You mean you're seeing in the future? That's what you're saying here? I don't understand the text. That you see the future and that known drug dealers will be elected mayors. So the people in the family islands will. Okay. Well, I don't know.
All of the officials on the council and mayor have to be elected, right?
By the people.
By the people. Mm-hmm. There's no mayor appointing a council thing happening here, so they could put all their friends on the board. It ain't gonna work.
I don't think the people are the problem. For those who live to get something from their representative, if the only choice is the legislator, that's who they will turn to. If they had a mayor, they certainly wouldn't look to the parliamentarian. Well, those people, type people.
Well, they also wouldn't look to the mayor. They would look to the processes that the mayor puts in place for them to get what they need. Because MPs don't necessarily have a process or even, some statutory way to give out things to a community, right?
Well, the challenge is here, often, the MP is going to be in the governing party.
Right.
And likely will be in the cabinet or in a very high-ranking position, which gives him some exceptional power and weight. And so that gives, that just throws everything off balance. Exactly. And so this is why we have a bunch of, 39 little kings.
Some of them even say it out loud. I am the prime minister of this island.
Putting pictures on everything, making people stand up. And caller, what say you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
And Happy New Year, Chester.
Happy New Year.
Dwight, I'm listening to you about the local government. I want to ask, because you've been talking about it for so long, have you, personally, came up with a plan, an idea, something that you can probably hand over to, say, Brave Davis or Michael Tintad, and let them look at what your idea is. And like how you were talking about paying for certain things that would upkeep the community. I think Life with Key would be the best example I can come up with of what a local government run community would look like.
Well, no, not really.
So I want to ask you, have you drawn up a plan with ideas that you can hand over? Because, some people don't have ideas on how to do these things, and you seem to have a lot of ideas, you and probably a few others. So I feel like because I've heard it from you first.
Yeah, okay, so I'll answer your question. So it's not a secret. I think people know, I would hope maybe not. It's been a long time now.
Tell us again.
So I was on the Local Government for New Providence Committee, and we worked for months. I think it was years. It could have been. We met with local governments around the world, and we talked and studied and came up with a plan, the Local Government for New Providence plan. I could post it. I'll post it again today on how local government could work for New Providence. We came up with an idea for 5 local government districts for New Providence and how that would work and what they would be responsible for. So the government has that. The previous administration definitely had it, and they probably line the toilet seats with them. I don't know what they do with them, but the minister for local government at the time pretty much dismissed it, said, well, if we go by what this is suggesting, what would the MPs do? Right? And that was the end of that.
Verbatim?
Pretty much. And we're like, what? MPs are legislators. That's what they would do. They'd make better laws, fix the antiquated old British laws that we are running this country by in 2026. Laws from the 1800s. That's what you all need to do. But he was concerned about not being able to give contract to somebody to clean up some bush somewhere, probably. I don't know.
And deal with the portfolio that actually gets you paid.
Right. But anyway. But yes. So yes, to answer your question, yes, that has happened. That did happen. I don't know if the current administration looked at it. They know it exists. But it's exhausting. It's exhausting. But anyway, which is why it was very hurtful that the previous prime minister, after the work was dismissed, came back and said, we really need local government in New Providence. Like, sir, if you don't, you mentioned Lake Killarney, someone needs to take a swim. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. Hi, are you there? Good morning. You're live on the air.
Yeah, Dwight, how you doing? It's Alan Johnson.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I was in and out, so I didn't get to get much of the show. But let me just say about funding local government. It's not as complicated as most people think. Let's say you have 5,000 homes in a particular area, just for a zone. It's just hypothetical, you have more or less. And those 5,000 homes decided they want to, say, have a school that's designated for them. And they say $25 million for this school, state-of-the-art school. Essentially what they would do is find a location. You could do bonds, or it's agreed to. That was 5,000 people, agree to pay $5,000 over 10 years, which would be $500 a year, over 15 years or whatever. And so they do municipal bond. They build a school. Those homeowners now have access to the school. That school has a requirement that you must live or rent within that zone to attend that school. If the school becomes a quality school, and let's say I own an apartment complex for a 10-plex, and because you have access to quality school for those children they have, they would normally go to a private school, and they now go to this school for free because they live in the area. I would be more than willing as an owner to pay a higher tax because I could get higher rent for that particular area or for that house, or if I own my home, for my kids to attend that school. It's the same thing if you want a fire station. Whatever it is, you decide to self-tax yourself The government of the Bahamas has a certain designated, we have the data or should have the data concerning what they already allocate for these particular areas in their collection process. And so that percentage or whatever would go to that municipality, minus running the top, what we call the central government. It's not as complicated as most people would have it to be.
Yeah.
It's just simply self-representation. And if you want something that, you don't look to government to say, build a school for you, if you decide you want to have your own fire station that responds quicker to your houses. So, you get together as a community, almost like a big giant club, and you choose a leader and you have discussions on things that you would like to have done to improve your network, your area, your schools, your roads, all those different things.
Yeah, and it could be direct taxes or not taxes, right? Like you're mentioning, and then you could charge for parking. You can. People won't like it necessarily, but it really can be much more effective to pay for garbage pickup. And
Right,
Grand
the
Bahama's familiar with that, right?
Yes. The problem with people have is that, like, for instance, when I lived in the U.S., I had no problem paying almost 35% in taxes and other things, whether it be community taxes. The problem wasn't paying the taxes. Is I was satisfied based on the neighborhood I live in, such as Weston, Miami Lakes, and other different things, for the quality of life that was provided to me and the services that I actually got for what I paid taxes for. The problem we're having now is that we're having representation, we have taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
And so now people have this idea that it will be a continuation of wasteful spending, wasteful habit. But I think what it does is by having local government, it actually eliminates this myriad of steps that you have to go through that allows for corruption and shadowness. But just let me say, though, on local government, the local government in the Bahamas, the law has been passed already for all of the Bahamas. It only requires the minister to say so.
Mm-hmm.
And the last debate that they had, and that they brought this up. And so local government is already there. You have to pass no additional legislation. In the same way, the minister could just say, if you all want to gamble, go gamble in a casino. You don't have to change the law. It just has to be a statement. And so, but I do think, it requires an education as to the benefits and the value that comes from local government, because somehow they keep mixing up what they see happen in central government and the things that we don't like, and we believe that it automatically translates to local government.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Ciala. And that's a great point there, because that's what the committee had said as well, that that was the beginning and that an education process was needed. Like, you explain this to people. You just don't dismiss this as the minister did. We'll put it to the people. They didn't even do that. It had to be leaked to the media for people to see that. And that was months, maybe a year later. Mm-hmm. They didn't table it. They didn't do anything, but send it out there, put it out there for public discussion, let people look at it and say, hey, we like this, we don't like this, what about this, what about that, why 5, why not 3, whatever. But nothing like that happened. But education and discussion and planning desperately needed there. And people have great ideas. There are people who have ideas that we've never even thought about. And you're like, well, yeah, you could make money like that. How about that? And then people would, there's so many things you could do. Mm-hmm. Ah, boy. This texter says here, we have local government legislation in place for the Family Islands, but we, the people, don't want to take responsibility for ourselves. It's easier to just complain that the government isn't doing its job. If we really wanted to get out of their comfort zone and get involved and really make change, then we would demand that local government be enforced and take charge. But central government wants to keep all the revenue collected and doesn't want to lose control of the revenue and wants to keep the people beholden to them, which helps to keep them in power. Local government was being effective in Grand Bahama when it first came out. Now, I'm not sure now how it is, but in Abaco, local government here has been stifled by the control of revenue, and power is being taken away by having to still go back to central government for approval to effectively manage. We, the majority of people, are just lazy and just want the handouts and not the responsibility. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, that's very, very, very sad. Yeah. Dwight, traffic is so bad because people are making third and fourth lanes coming out of corners. Yeah, that's terrible. And then people see it every day.
They're talking about off the highway.
It could be so many places, I'm sure, but nothing seems to be done. Nothing seems to be done. No exceptions for the Prime Minister with the sending the kids to the public school, this person says.
That's right. No
they
exceptions.
should be setting the standards, not ducking it. Okay, I hear you. Well, I'm for it. I am all for it. And I'm telling you, the country would be better for it. Remember we brought this up to a previous Minister of Education? Do you remember that show? He blew my mind. He said, when he said that he thinks it's good that people do that he does send his kids to a private school because he frees up space and resources in the public school for
yes,
folks.
I remember that.
That was like, what?
Classic.
Wow, you are
Classic.
You're good. You are very good, sir. That was amazing.
Did you just come up with that?
I think he'd heard me say it for a while, and then he finally got a chance to come on the show. We liked that minister. He was driving by one time. He heard us talking about something. He stopped and came in. I heard you all say something. I had to come in here to respond to that. Like, well, okay, this is good. This is good stuff. Anyway, you do have local island administrators that are appointed to various islands outside the scope of local government. You do have local island administrators that are appointed to various islands outside the scope of local government.
Right, what do they do?
I don't understand the text. You do have local island administrators that are appointed to various islands outside the scope of local government. What's the point that you're making here? And I have a problem with local island administrators.
What do they do?
I really have a problem with that. That should be an elected position, and they should be a governor. I don't know what this appointment
what
thing
do island
is.
administrators do?
The prefect from the government? I don't know.
The prefect?
I don't know what this is.
What is Feudal Japan?
I don't know what they are. That should be an elected official. A governor.
The Prime Minister said to bring you this pot, my lord.
But the people are fine with these things. I don't understand it. But anyway. I thought you would have given up on your advocacy for local government in 2025. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with central government. There is something wrong with the laws and the systems in place and the people. You can't implement a new system of local government among the same corrupt people. I hear you, but as we mentioned earlier in the week, the system that we have is easily corruptible. And helps foster. Anyway, people who are minded to be certain types of ways are drawn to a type of system like what we have.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Right?
We get what you're saying.
That this system breeds what we get.
Malarkey.
So you'd be surprised what a shakeup of the system could do to the same people. Like, you just aren't going to be able to. You move you out of this circle. We put you in a square. You're going to have to move a little differently.
Yeah.
We need people. We need people change and stronger enforcement of the central government laws. You can't take a new software and run it on a corrupt hard drive. The application and computer won't work properly. Okay. I would move to a city run by Dwight or C. Allen, especially C. Allen, a digital city. Okay. Oh, boy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there?
Hey, good morning again.
Hi.
Hi. You know, talking about the old, the antiquated laws and the way we run things in this country from 1,500 years ago. We have to really. I would like to see this year. I know you said you have done the work and you've passed it on to the previous government and so on and so forth.
There was a whole committee, a whole lot of people.
I mentioned names. I said, have you presented it, or can you reprint what you already have? Because I'm assuming you still have that in your system, your computer system. Can you reprint it and put it, say, in a Michael Pintard hand or in a Brave Davis hand? I mean, individually. rather than assuming that they say. One of the things that I learned when I studied management is don't ever assume someone knows something. You be sure to tell them so you can know that for sure that they know it.
Mm-hmm.
That was my point.
Okay.
To be sure that they have it, because who knows what the previous government did with it. So we are not sure. We are assuming that they see it. Just like
Pintard was in the cabinet. He was.
What's his name? Alfred says he did not see the thing for BEC.
Mm-hmm.
He never saw that.
Right. So he said.
So let's not make assumption. Let's be sure to put it in their hands to know that yes, they've seen it.
Sure. I hear you. Thank you very much. Pintard was in the cabinet though, but yeah. Well, I can WhatsApp them all today. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? No? Okay. Final text, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll get into that public transportation issue, another local government issue, if you ask me. I'm trying to get in by phone. Local government is not fully implemented in the Family Islands. We need to fully implement this on the Family Islands. Yes, we totally agree with you on that. That's not the right type of local government that we think the country needs to really progress. How is it that you see so many police motorcycles during their annual church parade and independence celebrations?
Don't wake this up.
But at the peak of traffic in the morning and evenings, you can't see any. They are all over doing private engagement, escorting funerals on Saturdays, etc., but are nowhere on weekdays. The people at traffic department need to account. Well, maybe if you called them and said that you and the people behind you are part of a new vehicle convoy, they'll escort you. No? It won't work?
I know that text was going to wake you
up. Say, hey, me and this 1992 Isuzu behind me. And these are all new cars that we're taking to the lot. Can you please escort us?
Those 3 and 4 lanes that are being made early in the morning, they drive past those too.
The police?
Yeah, oh yeah. That ain't their business in the morning.
Yeah, final text. Local government is needed in Nassau. We need at least 8 local government. Ooh, wow, 8. That's a lot. Let me tell you this. We had a meeting with a local government committee in New York. That was a Zoom meeting. And we told them that we were proposing 5. And one of them, not all, but one said 5. And they're like, wow. We think you should look at a smaller number. I'm like, what? And she was saying perhaps 3. I'm like, wow, okay. But, one of the things the previous minister said, that the mayor of each of these areas would have received more votes than any of the MPs,
saying that.
And that would be a problem. And we're like, that's a stupid thing to say, because
it's a silly thing to even
one of the dumbest things in the world. The mayor of New York represents how many millions?
Yeah.
But a House representative will not represent as many people.
Yeah.
No one has ever said, well,
He's
right,
too popular.
The mayor of New York they don't do the same things. They don't do the same things. No House representative of New York would that
would mean that
come on,
the popularity race.
Well, if you're concerned about that, any member of parliament, maybe you should be a mayor. Maybe you should be.
And then you'd have to send your kids to the school in that area, and you could find one. Private.
Well, remember now, we're saying that about everybody. MPs, mayors,
everybody got this.
City council, everybody.
Oh my.
Public school, public hospital, public clinics.
Oh my.
For all of you. We'll be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
110 miles long. Here's a song. Stands for freedom. Oh yeah. Land of fun. Oh yeah. Oh how beautiful. Love pleases everyone. Play now.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. And opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Glen Business on this Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And this morning we are talking about stress, public transportation, the lack thereof, and the traffic. Many of you stuck in traffic. We're getting lots of text messages about the chaos on the streets here in New Providence and the impact this is having on the economy even. So got a couple articles here to read, and it's based on an IDB report. We're going to begin with Nassau Guardian. This article ran a few days ago, December 23rd. IDB study explores how poor public transportation burdens lower-income families. So a new Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, found that physical and social elements create a reliance on public private vehicles. Physical and social elements create a reliance on private vehicles for transporting children to and from school, a reality that disproportionately burdens women and hinders academic success for low-income families. The study, Navigating School Journeys, Barriers and Enablers for Children and Caregivers in Nassau, Bahamas, looked at 4 New Providence schools, Uriah McPhee, Sybil Strawn, Doris Johnson Senior High, and C.V. Bethel Senior High. It found that the duty of transporting children to and from school is gendered, with women making up 83% of the sample of parents who organize or undertake the task. So it said that this starkly confirms global patterns where women disproportionately bear the time, cost, and stress burdens associated with child-related mobility, often limiting their own economic participation and impacting their well-being. Parents, administrators, and staff cited physician, functional, and social factors. Is it physician or is it physical? That intertwine to create complex challenges and opportunities. The report said that infrastructural deficits emerged as a consistent theme, particularly the lack of safe pedestrian pathways, adequate crossings, and climate-resilient features like effective drainage and shade, saying that this resonates with global research identifying poorly built environment and pedestrian infrastructure as significant contributors to increased reliance on motorized transportation and safety, on compromised safety. As it relates to functional barriers, the report noted that a lack of consistent traffic laws within school zones. I'm going to save all my commentary for the end. A lack of... I lost my way because that threw me off there. Because have you noticed during the school zone hours when it says that you're supposed to slow down to 15 miles per hour,
right,
that if you do that, 500 cars will pass you by?
Absolutely.
Do you know of anyone ever getting a ticket for driving 45 in the school zone?
No, I haven't heard of it.
And the people who pass you looking at you like you're crazy? Like, why are you driving so slowly? Anyway, lack of consistent traffic laws within school zones as well as unreliable public jitney services creates substantial hurdles. It said that these findings also echo existing literature demonstrating how weak enforcement can undermine safety regulations and how poor public transportation operates disproportionately and burdens lower-income families. The report said that those issues are compounded by pervasive social fears surrounding crime, harassment, and gender-based violence, while discouraging walking and the use of public transportation as a means of getting to and from school. According to the report, 84.3% of survey respondents worry about harassment, 79.7% worry about sexual violence, and 88.9% worry about strangers approaching children. The report said that the anxieties act as powerful deterrents, influencing transportation choices and compelling caregivers, overwhelmingly women in our society, towards more resource-intensive protective strategies, such as relying on private vehicles even for short trips. The report said the findings mean that tackling school transportation challenges demands multi-sectoral collaboration extending beyond transportation and public works to include education, social services, gender affairs, and law enforcement agencies. It said priority intervention areas include improved walkability via continuous sidewalks and safe crossings, the strengthening traffic law enforcement in school zones, the provision of basic weather protection like shade and shelter, and the enhancement of infrastructure resilience, especially against flooding. It said that while physical upgrades are essential, addressing functional gaps like unreliable public transportation or inconsistent crossing guard deployment by providing safe, reliable, and adequate school bus service and improving public transit and mitigating social fears through visible policing, community safety programs, and tackling harassment are equally critical. Okay. Wow. So there's another article. This was in the Tribune yesterday. School runs stress. 15% quit or change their job because of the lack of public transportation and the stress during rush hour. Now this is really more than 1 in 7 Bahamians have had to quit or change jobs to cope with the demands of school drop-offs and pickups, according to an IDB report, with more than 1/3 blaming this for inhibiting career and income-earning opportunities. The multilateral lender unveiling the results of the study on how the daily school run impacts parents and adult caregivers, saying the findings showed lower income Bahamian households and families face greater difficulty absorbing the demands from the early morning and mid-afternoon commutes, not least because they are more likely to have just one or no vehicles. The study, which focused on 4 New Providence schools, as we told you, surveyed 477 parents as well as interviewing teachers, principals, security guards, and bus drivers, found that more than 37% of those polled reported being late for work at least once in the prior month due to the stresses and traffic congestion associated with the school run. Some 35% of the survey respondents had asked their employers for flexibility, such as adjusted work hours or being able to work from home, just so that they can cope with transporting school-aged children. The IDB study said the pressures on productivity are so great in Nassau that companies have adjusted shift times to facilitate staff school runs, one employer revealing they have introduced a 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. shift specifically for this purpose.
And what happens?
Which type of company? Okay, interesting.
Oh? I never heard of that.
12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay. The report, produced by 5 members of the IDB's Transportation Division, gives an insight into the tangible negative impacts created by pressures surrounding the twice-daily school commute, with many parents struggling to balance caring for children with their career. The survey found almost 36% of parents agreeing that school transportation duties leave them physically exhausted. And nearly 7% of survey respondents confirmed that they have had to quit a job entirely to ensure they can drop off or pick up their children. So they didn't really want that job. I can't imagine.
I mean, could have been that stressful. But if you could afford to quit your job, then somebody's doing fine on the other side.
Stressful because the employer was giving them a hard time because they were late, as the report noted.
Maybe
maybe that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy. With more than 8% stating that they had to change employment for the same reason. This means 15% or more than 1 in 7 have seen their income and job prospects negatively hit by school-run challenges.
Because lunch and school pickup are two different things. Right?
Well,
lunchtime and school pickup are two different things.
Well, we know that we know that there are. I have to be careful with my words. Certain conscientious parents used to take their lunch hour at the time they went to pick up the kids.
Is that conscientious?
Yes, because you're right. There are people who are going to take their lunch break at 1 and still leave at 3 to go pick up the kids. So that's kind of like an abuse, I'm sure.
Well, it's necessary, especially if you're a single parent. Number one. And number two, how much lunching do you get to do if you also have to go pick up the child, drop them home, and come back to work? Now you're sacrificing your health.
Well, this is a lot going on. A lot going on. Yeah, so I'm going to read just a little more of this, and then we want to hear from you all. We know we have a problem, and we can see it. We know when schools are closed, everybody can see the difference. People come to work 2 hours early because, wait, I didn't know schools were closed, because it just makes that much of a difference, right?
Yeah.
This is not making sense, and something has to be done. And we've been saying that since I was a kid, right? This is madness. And people living right next to each other, going to the same school, all in different cars. You got people, the school is a straight line, right? This could easily be resolved with a bus or something, but we aren't doing it. We aren't doing it. All these parents leaving work at 2:30 to go to pick up kids, just not making any sense.
Yeah.
Not making any sense. And we're not hearing our leaders talk about it. They don't seem to think it's a big deal. Do you hear them? Am I missing it? Do they have any suggestions?
I don't know.
What is that about?
School fees are mortgage size, and they don't even have busing systems. So.
Oh, man. And again, this is talking about stress, people having to quit their jobs, losing income because of this.
Yeah.
Right? And the stress because, yes, you're on the street and you can see your destination, but it's taking you half an hour to get there.
Yeah.
People are getting sick from this.
You talked about the traffic situation, people making lanes that threatening to bump your car, and it's stressful.
There are no rules on the road.
Yeah, it's stressful.
You got a boss ask you where you've been for 2 hours, and you've just endured monster truck madness on the streets.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's coming at you from all angles.
That's right.
And we're wondering why people are snapping at everybody
Yeah.
Any hour of the day in this place.
Because we haven't set up a town or city that makes sense for people.
Say that again, sir.
We have not set it up.
We better believe it. And these are what our elected leaders are supposed to be doing, right? Trying to make our lives better. But it's not quite there yet. Let's hear from you. This report is telling us what we all knew.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise, but it's good to see it in writing.
Yeah.
And hopefully certain other people are reading it. But what now? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. What are we going to do? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Chester. Good morning, Dwight. How you
morning.
Doing well. Good morning.
Good, yes. You spoke about local government earlier. And I wrote quite a bit on local government and family islands in one of my magazines. But local government, what are you talking about? Transportation and the stress of parents dropping off their kids. Local government would take care of that if our government, consecutive government, has the will to implement local government.
Yeah.
These things are easy fix, but we seems as a government not to want to implement things to make life easier
No.
for citizens.
No, not at all.
And of course, I mentioned, I texted earlier, reference to the local government with having 8 areas.
That was you. Okay.
That was me, yes, absolutely. Because 5 will not do it because the majority of our population is in New Providence. We have almost 300,000 people in New Providence. 5 will only frustrate the system. 8 minimum will actually, I believe, solve a lot of the issues that exist in terms of crime, in terms of other stuff. You see, crime is, but homicide has gone down, and I believe I'm heralding with an organization that I'm a part of, the Environment Paradigm Movement. Crime is going down. I think it can go and will go down if the government partner with persons like us and other organizations who have done research like IDB, reference to the social ills in our country.
Okay, so let me say something though. So you say you think we would need 8 local government districts for New Providence, but let's look at New York. They have 8 million people and 1 mayor, right? Why not? Why? What do you say about that?
Let me say this to you. This city is not organized. You know that?
Well, it definitely is not. That's why we need real local government.
Right.
We have no one running this city. The city is right. Anything goes. You could do whatever you want. There's no rules. Just put this there, put that there, do that on top of that.
You cannot manage what you don't know or understand and have done any research on.
Mm-hmm.
You put people in place who have very little or no experience in what they're doing, and you expect to have quality results. You will not. You will have the same results year after year, and people trying to figure why this is not happening. Why you expect it to happen?
Okay, so let me tell you one benefit of fewer local government districts on an island compared to more. So let's say we're talking about transportation. If we going to have a new, real public transportation system, whatever that is, whether it is a bus or a train or a trolley, a streetcar system, the challenge if you have 8 as opposed to 5 or 3, I mean, each district might want to do something different, and that could create a lot of chaos. If you have maybe 3, you might be able to get them to work together and have a simpler process for everybody, because you aren't likely going to only be in your district. You will want to get from one area to another. And so if you could have 3 systems that are similar as opposed to 8, you know what I mean? I think that might be a reason. But I do understand why you're saying 8. But we have to study. We have to study, as you mentioned. We need to know what we're dealing with to get a handle on it, to see whether more would be better than fewer. But we need to have the discussion, have the studies going on.
And also you must have the will to want to let power that you think that they think they have go, because people have the power. We could demand things and ensure that things happen. I do stuff in my community where I do we do cleanup. I do cleanup in my area. I do crime watch. Anything happens in my community in terms of lines are down for various utility or any issue in our community, I basically handle, and people call on me to get things done. These things can be done by individuals and communities. But people, we rely on the government and the government system so much. The thing that we can do in terms of garbage, who put garbage on the street? The government doesn't do that. We do.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and we look at the government to clear up our mess. Not that government should not that the government should not assist, but we need to have personal responsibility to get our community fixed. And I told, when I go on the radio, I speak to crime particularly, that we will fix this country with or without the government. Let me also mention, crime and the fear of crime is a major hindrance to all of our progress and tourism and business and traversing our streets.
Well, yeah, that's what
and
the
our
report is
community
saying.
in our country.
Yeah.
It is a major hindrance to progress and productivity in our city, particularly New Providence.
Yeah.
And we need to fix it, and we will.
Well, we hope. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the call. Yeah, well, that's what the report's saying, that the people are walking the kids, they're afraid of predators, people, little respect for the pedestrians. But also, clearly a lot of our pedestrians don't know how to walk on the streets.
Especially young kids, man. They love to test cars.
I think the adults might be worse, to tell you the truth. I've
They
seen
grow
some
into the adults that are worse.
Adults crossing at the
They've been
weirdest
doing it since they were
times,
kids.
and other motorists allowing pedestrians to do foolishness. Like, why would you stop on a green light to let that person cross the street?
Yeah,
you're trying to kill them. You clearly are, and so it's just amazing stuff that's going on. We got a lot of issues. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
You know, Dwight, I'm older than you guys, right? You know, I remember in the streets, it's the whole chronology of foolishness that's going on, or I should say, compilation of like you talk about the pedestrians, etc., right? We look at the guys, they promise and they help them know, they talking about what they wearing. They wearing masks and all. They promise them with no license plates. No insurance, whatever. So, I mean, if they hit your vehicle, what happens? The chances of the social interaction between you and the imbecile is greater. So they've left us to fend for ourselves. They are allowing the city to run away with itself, where everybody does everything, anything they feel like, riding on the sidewalks, etc. I saw a car was smoking profusely. I couldn't even breathe good, but they just coming down Blue Road. I thought it was smoking. The whole area smoking. So, I mean, from this to that, and as it relates to local government, I want to make a little joke here between you and Chester. Maybe if we, in the states they have federal, state, and local, right? So, but the caucus rights, I guess the term local don't sound too derogatory, but because we use the term local government here, maybe that's the reason for the procrastination to implement such a system, right, Mr. Strawn? Town hall meetings every now and then on a schedule to voice concerns, but the joke is, let's use the word provincial. It sounds more colonial, right? Maybe they might be smart. You don't think so, Mr. Swan? It sounds more, because we've been wallowing and talking about this local government for so long. The lack of ordinances is simple, Mr. Swan. And so the last caller, he was correct, but you must realize the government needs us also. We tell me we don't need the government. It's reciprocity. Don't give me that. The government cannot run without us paying taxes, Chester. So what are you talking about? You still need funding to do anything in the city community. And the same way the government relies on us for taxes, our taxes should be implemented or used for the provincial use. All right? It's simple. You don't need no science to this. Give thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot. We've got a lot of text messages coming in, but let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? No? Okay. This texter says here, I give up. I read the report and all I did was shake my head. The report is spot on. You're talking about the IDB report? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, we know. We know. This person says, I support progressive ideas that are appropriate, whatever they are, to move us forward as a country. I think that we are not connecting a vital dot that is foundational in progressive countries around the world, a population majority that is sufficiently educated or exposed to process information to make meaningful contributions and decisions that support progress. What are you saying? That we are not one of those countries? That we do not have a population majority that's sufficiently educated or exposed to make meaningful contributions and decisions that support progress? Is that what you're saying, Dexter? I hope that's not what you're saying. But I think you made a great point earlier, Jester, that there's a whole section of the population that is a little preoccupied with some other things to care, sadly. Right? They're struggling with all manner of things.
Yep.
A lot of personal turmoil and things happening.
Yep.
And what exactly are we supposed to do about the traffic or about the traffic situation? Are we to carpool for free? What? All the police care about is making money for the government. They tried to shut down all the Ubers. I rather walk than use the bus. Last time was like a carnival ride. And before you say taxis, remember the taxi driver that was almost murdered and robbed by a very attractive, sexy criminal last year?
Who?
No, I don't. What? Almost murdered and robbed by a very attractive, sexy criminal. Okay. There are all kinds. I don't know what's happening, but there are all kinds of options. There are all kinds of options we don't seem to be exploring.
Well, they had that unified bus system.
They had what now?
Thing that was supposed to happen. They canceled that again.
They did what? You mean the tests that they had?
The
trial run?
Yeah, that didn't. I don't think that happened anymore.
Well, IDB sponsored at least one of them. But it didn't happen. It goes back to the will that the previous caller talked about, right? If the government really wanted this, there are many options for them. If the current drivers don't want to get on board, you start your own thing and undercut the price of these drivers and make it so easy for you to catch one of these unified buses that it just...
And make them nice buses.
Make them very nice. Make them wheelchair accessible.
Wheelchair, bike. The ones I used to ride in Miami, you could
put your bike on it.
Put your bike on the rack on the front, and then
of course, I don't know where you're
in case
riding
you were going.
Because you're going to get run over, and there are no bike lanes around here. But hey. But yes, nice. They could be hybrids or electric.
You pull a cord to stop instead of shouting it across
press
people.
A little ding.
But you also stop at the next bus stop and not anywhere.
A bus stop that is covered, maybe, and you wouldn't be exposed to the elements.
I seen a bus drop 3 people off within like 50 feet
here
of each other.
You mean in the current system we have here?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What you mean? I've seen 3 houses next to each other. Bus stop in front of that house, next house, right there.
That's crazy.
Why not? That's what we do here. Wow. Boy. So I'll save that for later. This texter says, I support that report 100%. What is happening now is that retired grandparents are taking the role of dropping off and picking up from school. Many parents cannot do it. Yeah, my dad definitely was doing quite a bit of that with my nephews. Yeah, picking up.
My aunt used to pick us up sometimes. But my mommy worked from home, so she would pick us up from school. But Grammy had to keep us sometimes after school. A lot of times after school.
Well, that's tradition. It seems, yeah.
No, but a lot of people paying for somebody now. Some grandparents too young to.
Grammy's working
to deal with that,
or not even young, but working because they have to work because the place is expensive.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Great show. The school pickup thing is a serious thing. I am a tradesman, and my wife works shifts at a major hotel, and I have to stop my jobs to pick up my kids when she works mornings. Traffic is crazy till I can't even go back to work until she gets off. I learn now that if you are going to have kids, you must have a structure in place. Well, absolutely. Now, see, at the first part of the text, why? Dwight, do they issue traffic tickets in Haiti? What's the point of that text? Anyway, then they say the boss...
I had that question in Nigeria. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. That's how we starting to drive.
So what are we suggesting?
Oh, I don't know what the suggestion is. I don't know why they asked that question.
The boss doesn't care because he or she doesn't have a chick nor child. What? What the? Okay.
The boss could pay for somebody to pick up and drop off their child.
Oh, my goodness. We will discuss it. Politicians will ignore it till the silly season really gets into swing and they can use the issue to get them elected. Then they will go back to what they normally do till the electorate ignore them. I suspect you're right. Didn't we already have the IDB pay for a national bus system? Well, the trial run of what Chester was talking about. They had a trial run of a unified thing. And we had at least 2 trial runs, if I remember correctly. We can't think we need 8. Oh, this is about local government. The first question is exactly what will this administrator need to do specifically, and how many people can one person reasonably be expected to do those things for? That determines the number, not a decision based on an 8 sounds better than 5. Right. So the reason why we did 5, that was based on the census and the population distribution. So there was a science behind the 5. Definitely. It wasn't a random number. And you're right. That's how you need to be thinking about these things. Texter, you are definitely correct about that. This person says here, it's sad to hear people agitating for changes in the country that should have happened 15 or 20 years ago. Okay, you could see it as sad, I guess, but at least they're agitating for it, yeah. If we get local government, cronies and families and lovers will get nothing from the political gods. Local government will destroy political patronizing, my opinion. Okay, this is a bad thing? Can you imagine? You have a commercial. Say no to local government. Your cronies and families and lovers will get nothing from the political gods. Save the system we have now. Say no to local government for New Providence. Okay. Ah, boy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester. On 2 points. Dwight, I was just going to tell you about the science of local government, and you talk about the millions of people. With 100,000 homes on New Providence, you just go by the number of homes, right? Or you could go by the 220,000 people. So it's come out the same thing. So science between dividing it up and responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk about the busing system. This goes back to 2009. Another study was done by an individual group of people, individual study, that actually looked at the combination of a school busing system as well as an ASP, an after-school program. But just let me say is that the reason why we never do these things, we try to create shantytowns of it, shantytown busing, shantytown digital structures, shantytown housing, shantytown businesses. So, we believe in the patchwork instead of just simply creating a system that has been done and proven all around the world. We say, you know what, nope, let's create our own. But when you go back to the after-school program, because in the study in 2009 or about 2010, it showed that about 2 hours to 2 hours and 42 minutes per day was lost in productivity from the average business due to this disruption of picking up children and dropping them off. It also showed that the same thing you said, that people were double-dipping and triple-dipping because they didn't take lunch, not leaving, but they ate at their desk and then said they didn't take lunch. They left at 3 o'clock, came back at 4:30 to pack up to leave at 5.
Wow.
And so then you had the problem is where the after-school program was designed to solve the problem. I think it was a 3-layered after-school program and a target group of about 4 different people or 5 different grouping of people to allow it to function. But what it did, it allowed children to have a place to go up, what they call a hosted on-campus school programs with library, computer lab, multi-purpose area, all these different things. So the absolute need for the 3 o'clock run was not necessary. So the school bus system would drop those off who needs to, they say, leave at 3 o'clock. And then it would also come back and deal with the ASP for those individuals who wouldn't drop to school. But this is not something new. This is something that's worth almost 20 years now, or at least 15 plus years that this has been done. And I'll try to find a study somewhere in one of my old hard drives. But it just shows that, we keep talking with the same thing over and over again. And so just looking at the data and getting leadership that makes the decision that to change the Bahamas for the 21st century, as opposed to trying to dress up the pig, putting on lipstick on it, and saying, "Oh, this is going to be a different color lipstick or whatever for the pig." So, change requires leadership. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. This could be solved so simply. It's not going to be rocket science to get a handle on this, but some people are thriving on the chaos. Really are thriving on it, and I think the will is going to be diminished to deal with it. A couple more calls, and we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Happy New Year to you and your co-host there.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you.
I have been studying something over the holiday. I got to be real quick with it because I want to get to another point. Some of the most smartest people that call these talk shows live in some of the most struggling islands in the Bahamas or in some of the most struggling constituencies in Nassau. Why they can't take some of this smartness and some of this good thought and help build up the area in which they live in? Number one. Number two.
How do you know where they live?
Hello?
How do you know where they live?
I know where they live, so I know who I'm talking of. I know where they live.
So you sound like you have a personal beef with some of our callers.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
It's just that if you could fix everything in Nassau, why you can't fix nothing in Grandmama? Why Grandmama's in the state that it's in?
Oh, boy.
Let's
not
be real about it. But what I want to talk about...
But that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
Let me... if it's not fair, I apologize. But let me talk about the pickup service. I used to be a part of the bus system before I started having challenges with my eyes. At one point, I used to do that on a private level. But my thing is, after working for a government corporation, the average mother that leaves 10 minutes to 3 to go and pick up their kids, very, very seldom they come back. If they do come back, they only come back in enough time to clock out for 5 o'clock for the day. Why not a lot of these big ministries have like a room or an area where you go pick up your children? You bring them back there. They'll be supervised by somebody to do their homework. They maybe could have a TV for entertainment till 5 o'clock. That will save a lot of people. You only have to do a pick up and come right back to work. You don't have to pick up your child, carry them home, then come back to work. That's too lap right there.
Or even better, if there were a bus that could bring the kids to your workplace and they could wait there at this...
But they do have pick-up and drop-off services,
Sure. So then you don't need to leave to pick them up, and then you just go home with them at the end of the day. Yeah, right. I agree with you. More offices should offer that service, perhaps.
But like I said, that was something I started to do before I got into the government system.
Yeah.
And it was working off well. But then another problem with it, too, is when it's payment time, that's another problem. You trust some people because you know them. You say, well, okay, me and you maybe go to the same church, me and you live in the same area, I can do it for you. Then you let 1 week build up into 1 week, 1 week build up into 1 week. And as much as you try to explain to them, when you do that, you're not running a jitney where you get money every day to buy diesel. So now your diesel is on credit. You have to cover that. And then the bus clean, You want your bus cleaned properly. You want the children in a clean environment. That has to get cleaned every day. You have to pay for that at the end of the week. Right. So it can work. It can work.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, one final call. Let's see if we can take that one, and then we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Are we having an issue with that line? Yeah? No? Okay. Text messages as we get ready to go to the break. This person says here, where are the road traffic policemen working? We have all these people employed being paid and no performance. We need qualified policemen who are people-friendly and disciplined to assist drivers on the streets. Okay. This person says here, the Bahamas Society is in grave need of a major facelift to create a better future development for our country. Yes, we can, because we were once in the 50s and 60s. We're once what? So are the agents of change, where are the agents of change today? From Grand Bahama, we are listening. Okay. Do you know why Uber and the like has been banned? Is there law against them? Well, yeah, it's not exactly legal to offer those ride share services here. It's complicated. It's insurance issues as well, right? But a lot of issues. A lot of issues. But we do need the government to look into this. Lots of reforms are needed. That needs to be addressed, and the ways the taxis around here function needs to be addressed as well. And apparently we're being told that it's not up to the government. Somebody needs to come and start a meter cab system. Okay. Well, somebody, please, for the love of God. I think we have enough shopping centers. How about you start a meter cab system? Boy. My friend says Jamaica has a government-owned bus system that runs very well and goes until 10 p.m. Has our government heard this? I'd prefer to see that in the hands of a local government, again, a municipal government, then central government.
I'd be surprised what Jamaica's doing.
Boy. Yeah. This person says here, I would like to know what sensible person decided that it was okay to put a bus stop at a traffic light. Which one is this? Where? Let's be real. The government won't fix anything, but don't tourists get bussed out of downtown very effectively every day from the cruise port Nassau? Come on, don't you all see all the lovely, wonderful sidewalks? Take a hint. And who can afford to pay for school pickup? The question is relevant. I recall having a relative kidnapped by a bus driver in Jamaica. The driver got angry at another driver and went on a high-speed chase all through the country with a bus full of kidnappees. A quick trip to get bread took 2+ hours when immigrants come. What's happening with this text? When immigrants come from unstructured societies in large numbers, it's very possible that they bring their nonsense with them and exponentially increase the nonsense that already exists.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know what's happening. Where did that come from?
You know, random incidents happen all over the place.
Wait, is that the one about the?
What's
the text? Where'd that come from? I don't. Let's go to the break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Looking for a school that's international, proudly Bahamian, and truly invested in your child's future? Bring the kids and join us at the St. Andrews International School Open House on Saturday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Meet our passionate teachers, tour our campus, and experience a vibrant, welcoming community where students are supported, challenged, and inspired to lead with confidence. Come see the St. Andrews difference for yourself. Visit standrewsbahamas.com or call 677-7800. St. Andrews International School, Ethics and Excellence.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Print Masters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas. They're the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Island Power Producers is hoping to have shore power in commercial operation at the Nassau Cruise Port by sometime in 2027. The project still has a few months of work to complete with the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection before construction can begin. That's according to DEP's director, Dr. Rhiannon Neely Murphy. She made the remarks last night during DEP's public consultation meeting on the project, where IPP's environmental impact assessment was presented. She explained that construction of the plant could begin by summer, noting that IPP remains a few months out from receiving a certificate of environmental clearance from the liquefied natural gas power plant on Arawak Key that will deliver power to Nassau's cruise port through an undersea cable. Responding to concerns that digital commerce may be less secure when taking into consideration recent fraud attacks at Bank of the Bahamas over the Christmas holidays, Clearing Banks Association Chairman Gowan Bowe is stressing that digital banking minimizes the risk of fraud in comparison to other banking methods such as checks. You can read about that in today's Guardian Business section. And the government's policies have kept the cost of living high for Bahamians over the past 4 years, according to F&M Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson. Thompson is saying, countering what PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell said about the high cost of living being blamed on imported inflation from the U.S., Thompson argued that while inflation rates have risen and fallen, prices have remained high. And overseas, Warner Brothers again rejecting a takeover bid from Paramount and telling shareholders today to stick with a rival offer from Netflix. Warner's leadership has repeatedly rebuffed Skydance-owned Paramount's overtures and urged shareholders just weeks ago to back its sale to its streaming and studio business to Netflix for $72 billion. Paramount, meanwhile, has made efforts to sweeten its $77.9 billion hostile offer for the entire company. Warner Brothers Discovery said Wednesday that its board determined that Paramount's offer is not in the best interest of the company nor its shareholders. It again recommended shareholders support the Netflix deal. Paramount did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The company's hostile bid is still on the table. Warner shareholders currently have until January 21st to tender their shares. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Tuesday, your market movers, Fidelity Bank Bahamas moving 25 shares, closing at $16.24, unchanged. Consolidated Water up 1 cent to close at $6.98. Emira Incorporated down 16 cents, closing at $11.88. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,111.48, down 0.15. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. All right, so just a couple of text messages before we go, Chester. So back to the transportation issue with the schools. This person says here, I went to Xavier's and SAC. Everyone asked me why my children didn't do the same. I said traffic because I live out west, so they had to go to St. John's. Yeah. Well, that's also contributing to some of the challenges, right?
I heard that from people too.
People making some very odd decisions, living out west and going to St. Andrews, or living out east and going to Lyford Key School.
Well, if you live east and your child goes to St. Anne's and your option is the Eastern Road, you still could be late.
Right? You can't win. Nope. And Prince Charles, right? So, I mean, I don't know. But we know school busing would definitely make a big difference. Yes. If we had a better public transportation system, that would definitely make a difference. I think that's what the aim of this report is, to put pressure on us to get a public transportation system in place. It doesn't have to be buses. It could be so many things. It really could be. We've said it before. Perhaps the time has come. For the modern era, we've got to think about the country in 25, 50 years. Do we need to look at something else? A train, a tram, overhead, what do they call those overhead ones? Yeah. The trolleys. I don't know. There's so many options. Something needs to be done. And the time has, as that texter said, 15, 20 years ago, people were having these discussions. We should have been somewhere by now. Sadly, we're in the same place we were in the 90s when we were talking about this. Mm-hmm. But God help us if in 10 years we are still talking like this. Yep. Right? Yep. That would be a travesty and a tragedy. Chester Robards, thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you again for filling in those days.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
I will be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
Don't stop. No way. Ride me till I can't ride no more.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.